Welcome to Survival Theory. So it's the spring of 2023, and in the fall of 2022, we experienced that collapse. What kind of collapse? You name it. Societal collapse, economic collapse, food system failed, you name it. Total chaos. We hung on through the winter, but early this spring, a lot of the people were to get out and about, and a lot of them headed south. It got real ugly, but I've had to leave my area. I'm bugging out. And the mag fell apart, so I'm kind of by myself right now, but I know where I want to go. It's about 50 miles away, so I grabbed a few things I could carry that far and headed to the woods. It should take me about 3 days if all goes well. So it's about 95 degrees today, 50% humidity. Not bad on the humidity side, but that makes it close to 100 degrees. But being in the woods, it's a little bit shadier. It helps a lot. Mosquitoes are pretty thick, so I've got to keep moving. So I've got several hours before dark. So I hope to be hitting a different environment soon. I'm in a mostly pine area and should be able to hit a different type of environment here in about an hour. Hoping to make it to a lake. Probably won't make it there till morning because I've got to refill on water. That should help some. Alright, let's get busy. So I just heard a vehicle on a nearby Forest Service road. Now, I don't know who that is or what their intentions are. So I have to assume the worst and stay hidden. I heard the vehicle approaching. I moved up a little bit, sought cover, and I waited for the hum of the motor to disappear. Then I waited about 5 minutes. I don't hear anything. So I'm going to approach the service road cautiously. I've got to look for people walking up and down the road. They may have stopped down the road and walked back this way. Who knows? Trust no one. On a bug out when it comes to strangers, trust no one. Now, I'm not going to be aggressive towards them, but I'm not going to give them a chance to be aggressive towards me. No confrontation because I'm not here. So I crossed that road cautiously, looking both ways first. And I did not step in the dirt or the sand. I stuck to pine needles to better hide my tracks. In case anybody's walking along that road and say, hey, why are there footprints here? And once I got to this side, look at this fern. Very, very easy to conceal your tracks if you can step above it and then step down in a hole. You can't really drag your feet across this or it'll bend it over. that you can step up and then down into these holes, and your track is nowhere to be found. So I've got a ways to go before I'm through this, so I'll get back to you. So I'm going to stop, take a break, snack on a little something. I'm feeling kind of hungry, and it really affects your abilities when you're hungry. And I'll go ahead and show you what I brought. First, I brought the 2-quart canteen. It's almost empty. I'm wearing what I would not want to wear. I'm wearing my 5'11" Urban Tactical pants. But I threw these on because it's very important that I whisk away moisture. And most of my other military grade pants are not going to do that. These, however, are going to wick away moisture very well. They're pretty tough. I just have to avoid snags. My priority is moving quick. So I'm trying to avoid those kind of areas and treat these rough anyway. I mean, I'm trying to just hike. So I brought my Crocs. Why are Crocs important? Well, I'm wearing these military boots. That's what I prefer to get around in. But by the end of the day, I want these on my feet. So my socks can dry out, my feet can dry out. I don't rot my feet off. These are super lightweight, so I definitely consider these important. Got an extra mag here for the SIG. I've got the Vaunt rechargeable headlamp. Rechargeable is very important. I've got my compass. Let me show you what's in my toiletries kit. I've got some of these packs here. Vitamin C, vitamin D, and zinc. It's kind of a vitamin supplement. I've got these hydration packs. Hydration multiplier. These are good for situations like this. I've got toilet paper. I've got some of these body wipes. These are going to be important at the end of the day, because I'm going to be covered in salty sweat, probably a lot of grime. So I'm going to need to be able to clean myself, and that's an easy way to do it. And then I've got my other typical toiletry items, medications, sewing kit, toothbrush, toothpaste, alcohol, wet wipes, things like that. I see a lot of Bugout bags, and they don't have any toiletries. This stuff's pretty dang important if you plan to be gone for 24, 48, 72 hours. And I've got a whistle in there. So in my bag here, I've got my solar power bank. I'm going to need that to recharge my cell phone. My Vaunt rechargeable headlamp. And as well as the 2 flashlights I brought. They're all rechargeable. Go ahead and put this in the sun. Alright, so I've got a jar of peanut butter. Right now it's unopened. That is 1 pound, 12 ounces. So there's some weight. Got my O-Light, the real bright one. Sometimes the headlamp just doesn't cut it. I've got a reasonably lightweight blanket here. Camera batteries, so I can show you guys. An absolute essential, I've got my water purification kit. That consists of the water bladder and the mini Sawyer, some water tablets. Got something kind of heavy here. Some chili, just a can of chili. This is a ton of calories, a ton of protein. So I'll have this tonight, and I'll be good to go. Military style poncho. That's the only cover I have. Got, well, besides the mosquito net, got a mosquito net. Got my fire kit. I don't necessarily need a fire kit, but I brought some of those bushcraft, Bigfoot bushcraft fire plugs. And I've still got some of that bamboo bark in there. And I keep it in this Bigfoot bushcraft tin, because I may not have time to go collect tinder. I've got to stay on the move. I've got a freeze-dried meal, kind of as a last resort, because I have to heat water for this. But it is lightweight. And here's some more food, which I'm going to eat some of this now. I've got my schmog, which if it were any hotter, hold on, helicopter. Alright, it's already fading out. It's not near me. I'm not in danger of any kind of detection. What was I saying? Oh yeah, brought my schmog. Hold on. Yeah, it is moving away. Brought my schmog here. I can wet this down with water. Put it around me to cool down. Fortunately, it's only been in the mid-90s, which sounds hot, but it gets a lot hotter. Got some cordage there. In this pocket here, got some sardines. It's going to be some good stuff. I got gloves. Got to protect your hands. Got more cordage here. And that's primarily if I have to ditch where I am, ditch my shelter. I'm still going to have some cordage with me. Titanium spoon, plastic fork, a saw. And in here I've got the cords I need to recharge my phone, my headlamp, and my flashlights. So on my body, already mentioned the Survival Lily knife, my canteen, which has the cooking utensils, and plus various emergency gear. Got my cell phone. Of course, there's no signal, but I've got apps on there that can really help. All they rely on is GPS. Got some 5-hour energy, should I need that. I've got my EDC flashlight and my EDC knife, which is a Swiss Army knife. I carry my mosquito net for the head in my pocket, but I'm wearing it now. So that's it. Yeah. And this water bladder in my backpack is full of water. Now in this heat, carrying a lot of water is not an option. It could be a long time before I come across water. And well-known bodies of water I don't even want to approach, because at this point there's people all around them I already know, because I've tried it. So I've got to stick to creeks, river sections that are in the woods, you know, areas like this where there's small isolated ponds in the forest. So I've got to plan my route according to water sources. Can't just beeline it there in an environment like this, because you run out of water after the first day potentially, and then you're dead meat. And I don't want to go near large bodies of water where there's a lot of people right now, because everybody needs water this time of year, and believe me, everybody's there. So let's get busy. Yes, the chocolate is melted, but at least I have chocolate. So I just came across this creek, and I know this is connected to that pond that I was hoping to hit, but it's moist in the bottom of this creek. So I'm going to walk along this creek for a bit and try to find a puddle. I'll filter that water. Then I don't have to veer off to that pond. I can continue on my course. Because going to that pond is actually a dangerous thing to do. Because how many other people know about that pond? Even though there's no trail or road going up to it, other people know about it. And what do you think people around here are doing right now? They're fishing for food, or they might be in that area hunting. So if I can avoid that body of water, even though it's just a small pond out in the middle of the woods, I will. So I haven't found any water yet. I am seeing a lot of raccoon tracks and other mammals. Looks like coyote as well. But I don't have time for trapping. I've got food I can eat on the run. I've got to get from point A to point B. Don't have time to play survivalist or bushcraft. I'm on the move. And I want to avoid stepping directly in the creek because someone else could come along here and see my tracks. Say, why are there human tracks here? Don't want any trouble on a bug out. Just trying to get where I'm going. You've got water. Now that's going to be ready in a few minutes. Then I'll have enough water to not worry about that pond. And now is the time I need to be traveling because the sun is down. It's not as hot. I'm not going to lose as much water right now. So I need to be on the move as soon as that's done. And right before dark, I'll probably stop. As far as traveling at night, we'll talk about that in a little bit. Finding these blackberries is quite the morale booster. Delicious and nutritious. To keep you occupied too. Give you something to look forward to. Something to look for. But you can't spend all your time staring at the ground. You need to be keeping an eye out. Situational awareness. For example, I saw in the distance a deer stand, an empty one. And it doesn't look that old. So what does that tell me? That tells me that someone could be on their way to this area right now to sit in that deer stand. I'm also pretty close to another Forest Service road according to my map. And I'm sure they walk along that road in the evening. If they're still around here, they would walk along that road and come to this deer stand. So I'm traveling in a general north direction, and I can't continue this way without coming across one of the Forest Service roads that actually, after a few miles, connects to a highway. So what I'm going to do is I've got to go until I reach that Forest Service road, and then get at least a couple hundred yards beyond that, at least, into the woods. I don't want to be too close to a Forest Service road, because if there's anybody out here, where are they going to be? They're going to be walking on trails and Forest Service roads. That's just how people are. And what are they going to be doing? Maybe hunting. People out here have been hunting a lot. I don't know how successful they've been. I don't know how many of the deer they've taken, but I know they're still out here hunting, trying to feed their families, the ones that are left. Join me for part 2, where I eat more blackberries.